it. I was like, oh, her butt cheeks have sparkles. I love it. I can have it. I'm gonna go sit in a pile of sparkles like immediately. I got some in the back. You want some sparkles? Not this time. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna reel you in. I was shy at first too, and then this one and a couple of shots of tequila. I'll show you some stuff. All about the striptease. It is a classic artistic expression of femininity. So it is just us women taking back our sexual power publicly, which is, it's a statement, especially in these days and times. So we are doing our very best to make power moves in that realm. I hope that you are enjoying the show thus far. Y'all are looking pretty lively. Everybody's hanging in there. I'm very proud of you. The bar has THC drinks. I don't know if you like that, but yep, I'm gonna go get one immediately. And please, I also should mention, this is not a dildo or a vibrator. It's a fan. Y'all are so dirty. I was like getting funny looks, and I'm like just enjoying my life, and everybody's like, what? Like, yeah, it's a fan. It's not what it looks like. It's hot in here. Y'all saw what I saw. It's a little warm. That's all. That's all it is. I will say this. We'll take a 15-minute intermission for you to freshen up your drinks and use the restroom or smoke or whatever you want to do. But I should mention, I have a wonderful comedian coming up next. She's going to entertain you this entire time. Her name is Jessa Blake, and she is making scenes. I'm talking about all the burlesque girlies love her, and Winston-Salem is eating her up, and I can't wait to see what you do next. And she has a show here next week. Yeah, girl, I'm gonna plug that. Tell me what day. Saturday. You come see Jessa and her crew. Yuck it up. We're gonna be giggling. I laugh, cry. It's not cute. I'll be there though. Coming into the stage, the incomparable Miss Jessa Blake. Let me get you a stool.
Can I get a big ol' hell yeah? Yeah! Who out here's drinking tonight? Let's get a toast, everybody. A rich man lives by a castle, a poor man lives by a sea. A whiskey glass and a fat girl's ass that's home sweet home to me. Alright, everybody, my name is Jessa Blake. It's just Jessica without the ick. But, my parents were 17 when they had me, so it's probably just misspelled. Who in here's worked all week?
Yeah, right here. Right here.
Who in here did not get paid enough for that job?
Right here.
Right here. Yeah, see, like, I'm out here, I'm about to do some heinous shit for some money. You hear what I'm saying? Like, I'm out here contemplating being a stripper. But the way I see it, like, it would work out for me and the club. As pale as I am, put a black light on me, I make that bitch glow. They could write my ass off on taxes and being eco-friendly. What a lot of people don't realize is the more you see of it, the paler it gets. By the time you get to the hoo-ha, it's like looking into the Ark of the Covenant. I think that got distorted. That's a win. I got a point. All right, we're going to continue this. But, I know I'm a big bitch, and that's fine. Biscuits and gravy did not miss me, and I'm fine with that. But, that's not going to stop me. Have y'all ever heard of Claremont? That's where strippers go to die. Or the stripper retirement plan, if you will. Like, you go there, you wake up to two fat bitches making you eggs. But I did used to do burlesque. I was a burlesque girlie for a minute. And I did stand-up comedy and burlesque at the same time. So I was known as Tits and Giggles. My burlesque name was Vesper Divana. Vespers are the last rites in Catholicism. Divana is Elvira's mother's name, so kind of morbid, sexy, what I was going for, right? So I had that for a while. I did some shows, had some fun until I realized my initials are VD. So my performances are contagious. couldn't. Yeah, he told me, once he found out I was out here slinging giggles, he's like, hey, don't be making no dick jokes about me. Darling, I got 15 minutes to fill. You did not give me enough material. Now he is at his mama's house disappointing women from there. That man was so white, like he only had hair around the edges of his back. I told him he was so white his back looked like loaf bread. When I got married, I had that long conversation you get with your grandma, right? Like all the things you're supposed to do at your wedding and the right and wrong things to do. And she's flipping through a book of her getting married to my grandpa in a beautiful blue dress. And she tells me I should not get married in a white dress because I was not a virgin. So I asked her, how many guys you got to fuck to get the blue? I got backhanded and it was worth it. I would do that again. That was worth it. I was like, she's over here acting like I don't know she got knocked up on the side of Highway 1 beside a 1979 Ironhead. Like, you married a felon the first ceremony. Like, mine's yet to do that. But I'm finally at a place where I can talk about an ex-boyfriend without wanting to pipe bomb his car. You know, I'm healing. I'm healing. But I did hate his car. He wouldn't put in, anybody in here a mechanic? Anybody know anything about cars? Okay, I want to use some words y'all don't know. He wouldn't put anything in the goddamn thing besides premium gasoline. Kept blowing out his manifold gaskets. And he's like, but it's a sports car. Sports cars have to have premium gasoline. It was a 98 Ford Mustang. None of the panels were the same color burgundy. It was a 4-speed with an automatic engine. That is like saying my Sparkle shoes and Jordans are the same. Like, absolutely not. Ford Motor Company has not made a goddamn thing that requires premium gasoline. And I'm all for keeping old pieces of shit on the road, right? I am built like a square body S10. I know who I am. and trust me, I can haul the same amount as an S10. But I'm all for keeping an old piece of shit running. But if you got an old piece of shit, you got to know how to work on an old piece of shit. Otherwise, you're just going to become a mechanic sugar daddy. Oh yeah, you need that done, that's going to be $150. And he wouldn't listen to a damn thing I said. I was raised on a farm. I know how to rip off a sugar cap. And I was like, he wouldn't listen to me. He'd rather go to his mechanic. Oh yeah, he knows No, he don't. He's just charging you $100 at a time, just fucking rob you. But he was a gorgeous man, don't get me wrong. He was a beautiful, beautiful brother. He was 6'1". He was the kind of man you just wanted to oil up and show off, right? The kind of man that could lay the pipe, but he didn't know a goddamn thing about plumbing, and you were fine with it. You know what? Just be pretty. You know, that's all you got going for you. Let's just keep being pretty. But my problem with him was he was black light. You know, like he looked like Stefan Urkel, but he dressed like Steve. Like he always had on like a polo shirt and like a fleece vest thing. And this man went to, private school, and I looked like me, so every time we were out and about, it looked like he was taking his lesbian out for a walk. But he had a buddy who always wanted to go to titty bars. And I took this man out to a burlesque show for his birthday. I don't care if a man of mine goes to a titty bar. The only thing I ask, is you tell me which one you're going to, so I can confirm I don't have a relative working there. I don't care if you see titties. I just don't want them to be relative titties. If you come back home and you're describing my Aunt Gwen to me, I'm going to be pissed. But you're also going to be scarred because that bitch has C-section scars and stab wounds. I know who I come from. I sound like I was raised by the Cassidy Hall. I'm aware. The man was convinced that the reason I have so much back problems and joint pain and what have you is because my titties were not in a bra that fit me. And any woman in here knows that titty algebra is stupid. I took trigonometry, I still don't get it. He was like, no, forget the 30 plus odd bones I've broken, all the times I've been thrown through walls. The time I got my hair hung in a go-kart chain, I was paralyzed for a year, the time I was shot. None of that mattered. Just my titties were not in their assigned seats. And that was what was causing all of my body pain. He's like, we're going to take you to get you a real bra. Okay, cool, let's go. So he goes Victoria's Secret. She's like, you're 34B. I'm like, you're a liar. So we went to a place that like specialized in titties, you know, like a place with like something with like construction and a foreman involved. And I got me one that fit. He goes, I'm going to buy it for you because this is going to fix all of your back problems. I was like, you're a cheap bastard. So I don't think that's actually going to work out for us. He's like, they can't be that much. Well, I got one that I knew that was going to be on the lower end of the titty costly, spectrum, and it was $97. That man passed out and I left him there. A lot of people ask me, Jess, what's the hardest part about being in an interracial relationship? One, I don't care about the old blue hairs at the grocery store, all mothballs can go get fucked. My hardest part for me was if I got sick and I asked that man to bring me like cough syrup and orange juice. Trying to convince that man that Tampico is not orange juice was the bane of my existence for 3 years. But it's orange. Well, grape Kool-Aid is purple, but it doesn't mean that there's grapes in it. I got a buddy who's been seeing a girl. He goes, I think she might be a red flag. Why do you think that? He goes, she's got her astrology sign tattooed across her chest. You have fun with that, sir. And I'm not going to be a part of that kind of fight. And he goes, would you ever get your astrology symbol tattooed across your chest? I was like, absolutely not. He goes, why not? I was like, well, I'm a Cancer. I'm not having cancer tattooed across my titties. He goes, what about like the astrology symbol? Like all those signs have a symbol. Would you ever get that? I was like, no. The sign for Cancer is 69. I'm also not going to have 69 tattooed across my titties. That's just not going to happen. Oh, God. My current boyfriend and I, we've been seeing each other for a minute. And his buddy was telling me that he was down and out. And I thought that phrase meant you were broke, but apparently means you're not getting any. And I didn't know that phrase. He's like, I'm down and out. And I honestly don't think you're down and out until you're on FetLife making life decisions. Like, am I ready for this to define me? I don't think you're down and out until your love language is safe words. Like, I don't think you quite got me there yet. But me and my fellow, we've been arguing, and it's hard to argue with a man when you're funny. Because, like, I'm pissed off, and then I'm over there, I think Zach is Hebrew for dickhead. Then he's trying to, like, make me feel better, like, if I get upset. And his form of, trying to comfort me is just really long eye contact. But he doesn't realize his eye contact looks like this. He looks like the guy at the end of the bar that's looking at you, either we fucking or I'm fucking. And I don't think he realized what he looks like. But I love the man. I'm going to be with that man until he dies. Whether it's Jesus taking him or me, it's one or the other. But we come from different worlds, like he comes from like a proper family, like he knows who all of his parents are, and like when things break around his mama's house, like they get repaired, not just reborn. Like he's never had to talk to a cousin through plate glass. None of his family members have ever been, arrested for stealing catalytic converters. Not a one. But like his family's like a proper upper middle class. And the only class my family has is various felonies. Like I got an uncle who went to jail for robbing a store with a stick. And I just want you to know that gun beats stick every time. I don't recommend it. My grandpa went to prison for mailing his taxes back as deceased. So wife number 2 and 3 couldn't get their alimony. They SWAT teamed our house. They flashbanged us. That's the type of white trash I come from. And but like my grandpa Butch, his favorite flavor was methamphetamines. And has anybody ever seen the movie Monty Python and the Holy Grail?
Yes.
Okay. Well, at the end of the movie, the little rabbit comes and kills everybody, right? The beast. So when my grandpa would be tripping in the living room, I was 13. I didn't know what he was doing. I just thought he was doing grandpa stuff. I don't know. He was a fucking weirdo. He runs outside and catches a rabbit and brings it in the house. And then he throws it in the oven to kill the evil. So I, being a 13-year-old girl, I take the rabbit out of the oven and I put it outside. I turn around, this man's got a revolver in his hand, and he lets one go. And I'm like, whoa, Butch, put it down, man. Who gave you a gun? And it hit me right here. Like, it didn't go through me, but solid flesh wound, right? It counts. Took out a good chunk of my ribs and got up. Butch had passed out in the living room. I take apart the gun. I go to my dad's room. I was like, hey, TR, Butch just shot me. I need an adult. He didn't shoot. Yes, he did. I'm currently bleeding. And he's like, no, you're fine. So he opens up his bedroom door just enough to put his hand up. He gives me Neosporin and a gauze pad and tells me to walk off. So now being, dating a man for a significant amount of time whose mother is a doctor, he gets so mad at me. He's like, you need to go to the doctor. This is wrong with you. Absolutely not. I walked off a gunshot wound. I don't need shit from you. He goes, Jess, I swear to God, if you don't go to a goddamn doctor, I'm going to ether you. I was like, if you think you can fight me, darling, let's do it. But Butch was always a character, right? Like, I always got in trouble in, the second grade because, when you're a kid, they make you retell a story. What's your favorite story? And most kids give you, a Disney princess fairy tale or something. I never got those. I just got Butch's meth hallucinations. So I said this in front of a room full of terrified 8-year-olds. My grandpa was a captain of a ship through the late 80s, or late 70s, early 80s. And they got stuck, he would take beer from the U.S. down through the Hispaniola Islands, go to South America, pick up antiques, and bring them back. The most convoluted way possible to run cocaine, but that is what the man did. So they get stuck on Tortuga, which is just a dead pirate island. There's nothing there. And they ran out of food. So the only thing they had left was the beer. So they're drinking beer. They're getting real fucked up. He wakes up. He sees his buddy at the end of the boat. And he's putting notes in bottles and throwing them out to sea. And my grandpa's waking up. And he gets a beer. He drinks it. And Genie pops out. Hey, what the fuck you want? Are you a genie? No, I'm goddamn Santa Claus, and tell me what the fuck you want. Does this mean I get 3 wishes? No, you're gonna get 1 motherfucking wish and be fucking happy about it. Mind you, 8 years old. And he goes, all right. I wish I had $1 million. All right, asshole. Snaps your fingers, goes back into the bucket. About 15 minutes later, he goes over to his friend. He's walking over to him, and 1 million ducks fly overhead. He goes over to his buddy. He goes, did you see what the bitch did to me? I asked for $1 million and she gave me 1 million ducks. He goes, no shit, man. Why do you think I'm working with a 12-inch Bic? He also got me in trouble in the 3rd grade. We had to do a project on evolution. And he was tripping and he was helping me with my homework, which was a terrible idea on everybody's part. He told me about the grizzly possums. Anybody else's parents tell them about the grizzly possums? No. Well, he used to tell me, back in the day, bullfrogs used to be this big. They had great big 8 to 12 foot long wingspans. And they perch up in the trees at night, come down and eat fish. Well, the grizzly possums were also around at this time. And they were 8 foot tall and 6 foot wide. And they would come down, and the only thing they ate for millennia was bullfrogs' wings. Well, over time in evolution, bullfrogs quit growing wings back. So grizzly possums started shrinking until the roadkill that we know today. And to this day, there's only 2 grizzly possums left, and they live up the road from Uncle Bill, and they only come down on Sundays to watch Lassie with them. And I was convinced of this story, and I convinced a whole room of 3rd graders that there were grizzly possums out there. I think I'm at my time. Or am I at my time? Or do you want me to? Okay, I don't understand how to work without lights, woman. You have to let me know when to shut up. I will do this all day long. This is the only time anybody listens to me is when I don't learn.
Jensen, that was absolutely hilarious. I love those good old country stories.